All right, hey everybody, welcome to another Friday Live. The bloody hell is the date today? I'm so out of it. Okay, it's Friday, 10th August. So this is gonna be the fourth. Is it the fourth Friday Live I'm doing? It's a thing now, people. You do something four times in a week, or is it the third one? Either way, it's a thing now, third or fourth. It's a thing. Okay. I have been wanting to make Friday lives or just like live videos a thing for at least a year and just didn't know if adding another, video thing to my schedule was taking on too much work. But actually, this has been really, really fun. I mean, I have been seriously enjoying doing these lives with you guys. So I hope that the ones that you have attended have been useful for you as well. All right. So um, I didn't have a lot of chance to promote this one. So, it might be a while before people catch on that we are actually live here. But yes. So, what we want to do is get started with our usual. We want to know who you are and where you're watching from. So, get in your name in the chat box there, get in your country, city, region, whatever you want to share, get that in. Hey, Kashif, thank you so much for joining. And we're gonna start off with. I have so much stuff to talk about in this. Okay, so let me just give you the big picture here. So the big picture is that every single Friday, what I want to do is talk about video content strategy. So I'm deliberately focusing on content because I think that's like a okay. You can have like fancy production and you can have like a lot of effects and great kind of whatever gear and all of that. But ultimately, it's the content that people are going to stay for. They might come for the production, the hype, or whatever, but ultimately, it's the content that they're going to stay for. So, my goal with my YouTube channel really is not just to attract an audience, but to retain an audience. And it's a really, really interesting distinction, I think. Your ability to attract an audience and then your ability to retain that audience. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to make like Friday Lives a feature is to retain an audience. So for example, people like Kashif who've been watching every single week, I think, are getting an idea about okay, where am I coming from? How does it all tie in together? So we're starting to look at like the big picture stuff. So it's not just all in isolation. It's not just one video and then another video and then another video and it's all like disjointed, but it's all part of one big picture on how to not just grow a YouTube channel, but grow a business using video. And obviously, as you as the brand are like center stage. Biswajita Rath, hi, thank you for joining from Bangalore, India. So nice to have you. Okay, guys, I'm going to. Last time I had like a major faux pas, and I actually um, did not share my screen properly with you guys. I am so embarrassed about that. And as I was watching the replay of the live, I was like, oh my god, shit. I did not share. I thought I was sharing the desktop, but I was sharing an Evernote folder, and apparently you guys didn't even see it, and nobody said anything. And I was like, oh my god, those poor people. Anyway, I felt really, really bad. So I just want to make sure this time that and the reason that I couldn't see it is because the picture on my phone had frozen, so I couldn't check. So now I've decided that I want to take my time in these live broadcasts, make sure you guys can actually see everything that's happening and make sure that it's actually whatever I'm trying to show you is actually being broadcast out there. Because, like, it's so stupid to see that half of the broadcast didn't even go out the way I intended it to go out. I mean, really, like, dumb. Okay, anyway, so Warwick, it's great to see you as well. What are you having for lunch? Haha. It's 5 p.m. for me, right? So I'm having my cup of tea. And you know what's been challenging for me is to make sure I make this cup of tea at just the right time before going live. It's so funny because it's like if I make it too soon, then it's too cold by the time I go live. And if I make it too late, then I'm late going live. It's an art form, people. It's a weird art form. Hey Elisa, I just subscribed. I watched many of your videos today and I already love you. Yay! Thank you so much. I love you back. Thank you for being here. All right, guys, so we're going to be talking about how to structure and script your YouTube videos. Now, remember, this is not from the perspective of a vlog. So vlog structures are very different. There's a lot more storyboarding involved in there. We're going to be focusing on how to structure and script your business videos. Okay, as we get started, I want to hear your topics. So I want to make this as interactive as possible. Okay, so in the chat, put down a topic that you guys want me to help you structure in the form of a script. So let's say you have an idea, whatever that idea might be, put that down in the chat. And I'm going to pick a few. I already have a few from my Facebook group where I announced this a few days ago. So I'm going to start from there, and then we're going to move to a few of your topics from the chat. And we're going to take that topic and we're going to talk about how to structure a business video from that. And we're going to talk about, okay, what are the objectives of that video? How do we make sure that that video does the job that you want it to do? Because guys, I'm all about strategic content. I'm all about making sure that whatever you're creating has some value both for you as the business owner and the audience as well. Okay, first things first, I just want to make sure you can actually see my entire screen. So I'm going to do a quick test here, and I'm going to share the desktop. Okay, and then I'm going to check on my phone if it's actually being shared, because did not want to make the same mistake that I made last time. Hi Fabiola, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys. Okay, so yes, I can see that that's working. Okay, awesome. Back to me. My nose is itchy. Sound like I have a cold. My nose is itchy. Okay, guys, let's start. So I'm going to start by sharing my group here. If you are not a part of it, by the way, it's Personal Branding with Video on Facebook. Absolutely join in. We have a lot of interaction going on, a lot more like one-to-one specific stuff. Anything you want to talk about, you can ask me inside that group. That's our personal space for Team Purple, hashtag Team Purple. Share what your challenges are, share what your wins are. Okay, so I announced that we're going to be taking topics, and Laura had a great topic, and I want to start with her topic. Laura, if you're watching, say hi in the comments. Okay, so Laura said that I help women stop binge and emotional eating and feel fabulous in their skins. I have many topics. The one I'm currently working on is to break the diet binge cycle. Thanks. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight her topic here for a few seconds so you guys can read it at your own pace as well. So it's all about how to stop the diet binge cycle. Okay, I'm going to come back to me. Okay, now if you have seen any of my videos about scripting, I do have a formula that I use. I call it the VET formula. It's called the Video Engagement Timeline, VET. And what the Video Engagement Timeline formula does is it helps you to structure your script in a way that is going to have, okay, so let's think of a mountain range, and it's going to have these peaks and valleys, and peaks and valleys, okay? That's the idea. Now, why? Okay, so the reason behind it is to keep interest. So every time you have a peak, that means that you have spiked viewer interest. And then after every peak, you want to come down so you can have another peak, okay? And so on and so forth. So the viewer always stays engaged in terms of what's coming up next, okay? There's something happening, and there's constantly something happening. So the VET formula is structured to maximize viewer retention, okay? Keep them watching, and viewer engagement. Get them to engage with you, maybe in the form of a comment or a share or a like or a subscribe or watch your next video, right? So that is the point of this formula. If you're aware of how the YouTube algorithm functions, it promotes content that people are engaging with. There's a saying inside the YouTube community, which is that the algo I forgot it. The algo follows the audience. That was pretty simple. Okay, the algo follows the audience, which means essentially that the algorithm decides what videos are important depending on what the audience is telling it. So whenever the audience is engaging with your content, with your videos, whenever the audience is watching more of your videos, when the audience is binge watching your channel, that is a signal to the YouTube algorithm that they need to promote this a little bit more. So that's why it's absolutely required that you should have some kind of formula, some kind of a structure to your YouTube videos so that you can maximize and capitalize on this formula. Okay, so remember guys, put in the chat a topic that you're thinking about making a video on. Okay, when you do that, I'm going to help you with come up with a structure around that topic. Okay, so your task is to give me a topic that you are thinking about making a video on. I want to put this a little bit on the side. I'm getting a little distracted with my phone. Maybe not. Let's start by looking at what the VET timeline looks like. Trying to make sure you can optimize this, whether I can optimize this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is what the video engagement timeline looks like. And it's in one of my videos, but you can get it from the group as well. I'll put it up there. Okay, so the video engagement timeline, VT, assumes that you'll be making, let's say, a 10-minute video. And you can obviously fit this into whatever other kind of video you have. And so the basic points of this timeline is an intro, a title, problem, solution, and call to action. And then there's a little hook up here, and then we've divided it into this timeline. Okay, so it's like the first 50 seconds is your intro. Okay, let's talk about this. So, your intro. I'm going to give an analogy here. When you pick a book from a bookshelf, you typically look at the cover. You judge the book by the cover. Okay, no matter what the saying goes. You judge the book by the cover, what's happening on it, the author, the title, all of those things combined, and you decide to open the book, maybe read a couple of pages or buy the book. Similarly, for YouTube videos, you judge a video by a couple of factors: the thumbnail, which is the cover image, the title, again, which can be the same as the title of a book. Like I'm giving you an analogy here, right? So you decide to click on a YouTube video by looking at the title and the thumbnail and the description and maybe the time as well. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can see when you are searching for a video, and lots of videos come up with the search engine results page, and you're like, okay, what video should I click now? So you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title, you're looking at the description, you're looking at the time duration of that video, and sometimes you're also looking at the creator, like what's the channel who made this video. These are all the things you're subliminally absorbing and making complex decisions in like nanoseconds about what video to click on. Once you decide to watch a video, then as a creator, your intro is the first thing that is going to tell your audience whether they made the right decision or not to click on your video. So when you're thinking about your video structure, your intro, the way that I like to think about it, is your intro fulfills the promise of your title. So the promise, let's take Laura's example here on binge eating, right? So for example, if the title is how to stop yo-yo dieting, how to stop going from diet to binge and back, right? If that's the title or some variation of that, then the intro has to be exactly about that. She cannot start with, hey, these are my qualifications, this is who I am, this is where I live. That's just not how YouTube works, right? Maybe when a channel is more established, you can start off with more generalities, right? But when you are first starting out and you're building up a channel and you're trying to grow a channel, you absolutely have to start with something that fulfills the promise of the title. Okay, you guys feeling me here? Please put a purple heart in the chat box below if you are on board with this concept, if you get this concept. The intro is the promise of your title. It absolutely has to be, tell the people who click on your video immediately that they were right. They made the right decision to click on your video. So for Laura, you will start with the biggest pain point of your audience with regard to their habits of not being able to diet. Okay, I'm going to take a look at your exact topic once again. How to break the diet binge cycle. Okay, Laura. So that's your topic. How to break the diet binge cycle. So you immediately want people to feel that in this video you are going to talk about how to break the diet binge cycle. I would go so far as say that if that's your main keyword, if that's the word you're trying to target, how to break the diet binge cycle, then actually say that in the first 10 seconds of your video. Because what that is going to do is it's going to tell people who decided to click on that video that, hey, I'm in the right place. I made the right decision. Okay, so right off the bat, that needs to be your first sentence. You could alternately start off with the biggest pain point of your customer. So let's say they are not losing weight, or like my husband, he goes on this diet, for example, and it's a very personal example, so I know exactly what he's going through. He goes on this diet, and then after, like, let's say a month or so, it kind of works, but you kind of lose steam, and then you go back to old habits, and then the weight rises again. And then you're so frustrated that it's hard to get the motivation to start up again because you feel like you're starting from scratch. So maybe if that's like a problem for your audience, then paint a picture. Like, it's really powerful if you can paint a picture with words, if you can use words to illustrate how a person feels emotionally, right? So that's the intro. Okay, now coming back to the VET. Hey, 1 second. Yikes. Still have to do this properly. Okay. All right, so coming back to the VET, that's your intro. So, I mean, I have like written 50 seconds here for it, but the shorter the better. So that's your intro. You immediately want to tell people they're in the right place. You immediately want to talk about exactly what their problem is, what their biggest challenges, and you definitely want to include emotional triggers in there. You want to include words like, are you sick of this? Are you at your wit's end? Are you like completely like losing your mind over this problem? Are you just like completely, disgruntled with how this is going? And then you want to tell them what the video is going to be about. So, for example, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways in which you can stop binge dieting and get your diet back on track. So something like that. And then your title goes in. Okay, so now if you don't have a title, that's fine, because if you're just starting out on YouTube and you don't have a title yet, you could get one made like on Fiverr or something, or do it yourself, or you can buy it like from Envato or someplace. And what you want the title to do is to add a little bit of branding. That's really the whole point of a title. Just add like a little bit of branding to your videos, right? And right now, I currently feel my title is too long. It's 10 seconds. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound, but in YouTube world, every second counts. And so I really want to cut down my title to 5 seconds. Like, I really want to do that. So when you are starting from scratch and making your title, try and keep it under 5 seconds. It's going to be really helpful for viewer retention. Okay, so you've got your intro in which you have your emotional hook, you have your promise, You have your, main challenge, your pain described, and then you move into your 5-second title. Okay, what's next? So the next part of how to structure your content is to frame the problem. Now, frame the problem just simply means that you want to put yourself in your audience's shoes. Okay, that's all it means. It means that you want to make sure that your audience can relate to you. Because look, the thing is that all these big businesses, they talk about, let's say if a company is making like cream for curing acne, it's going to be from a very impersonal perspective. They'll hire a model or some personality to talk about it. And it's, everyone knows it's all paid for. They're only saying the stuff that they're paid to say, right? But you as a personal brand have the distinct advantage of talking about problems as they affect you. And it's such an underrated competitive advantage, in my opinion. I mean, and I often do this in my videos, I talk about my personal challenges with video, right? There's no model that I'm paying to talk about this. These are like real challenges, real stuff, right? So when you just get real and vulnerable, that's really where the magic happens, guys. That is where the magic happens. Okay, I I want you to ask me like a lot of questions in the chat, right? So, what are you thinking right now? Is this making sense? Are you familiar with the VET timeline? Do you structure and script your videos? Do you just wing them? Have you not gotten? I have so many questions. Like I like wish I could like grab and reach out to you guys and we could actually have a coffee or a tea or whatever together right now, and I could just like bombard you with questions. But I'm like looking down at my chat constantly. Okay, there's a reason I'm looking down at it because like I'm looking at the chat. So ask me a comment. So I know. So I get some ideas about whether you're getting this, or is it like something that you have confusion around. Like let me expand on something if I need to, or move faster if I need to. So absolutely let me know. So Kashif is saying, that's a topic. Okay, how to start your own drop shipping business. Warwick, yes, I'm using it now. I definitely agree. Jumping right into it. My intro is literally 5 seconds and jump straight into the problem. I don't waste time introducing myself. Absolutely right. So and Warwick, I would think that it varies from platform to platform. Like on a YouTube live, and also from format to format. So on a YouTube live, it's kind of important to. God, what is it? Hang on, just let me clear my nose. Yeah, it's so annoying. Okay, better. So the main thing for me is to remember where I'm making this video, what platform I'm making it for, right? So on a YouTube live or any kind of live video, it's okay to take your time to get into the topic because it takes a while for people to join in. So you don't want to have like your best stuff said in the first 5 seconds because everyone's gonna miss it, right? And same goes for like a Facebook live, really. And the same for a YouTube live. So if you watch the replay of this, I get into the content like a few minutes into the thing. But for a YouTube video, like a recorded video, it's super, super important to just get into the content right away. And this was so hard for me to do. And I watched, like, for example, one of my older videos was how to make videos with your phone. I can't even watch that video right now. It is like cringe worthy because I spent like, I don't know, like the first 6 minutes or something, like babbling about limitations and God knows what. And I'm like, so what? Just start already. Because, like my own videos frustrate me. They frustrate me because I'm like, I can't watch you go through this. Just get to the point. And so you really do have to watch your own videos. Oh my God, it is so tough. but it gives you that much needed ego kick, and you get to see how things are from your audience's perspective. You really should watch your own videos. Like, I don't know why people don't watch their own videos. Like, I was in this group and somebody was saying, you know what, I don't like watching my own videos. Yeah, well, you may not like watching your own videos, but it's necessary for growth, because how else are you going to learn what not to do and what more to do off, right? So I think you should absolutely watch your videos. So on my last, so I'm reading a comment from Warwick. On my last video, I had 10 tips on dealing with difficult clients. Should I have had a call to action after each tip, or just wait until the end? Good question, Warwick. I'm going to come back to the VT formula here for a second. Okay. Now the thing is that this thing that I placed up here is called a hook, and I've placed just one here, but you remember when I talked about the mountain range concept? Because I actually want to update this diagram. And I think there should be multiple hooks. And by hooks, I mean, it could be a CTA, it could be an engagement question, it could be some kind of, you pause and you ask something, just like I'm doing in this live broadcast right now, right? Just exactly like in the middle, and be like, okay, tell me your topics. Okay, what do you guys think? So exactly in the same way, for a recorded YouTube video, you need to have, depending on how long it is, multiple CTAs, multiple engagement things happening, because I don't know, we just get bored really fast apparently, and it's really hard to keep somebody's interest and engagement on a consistent level. And so what that does is, when you engage somebody and you ask like either like an engagement question or a CTA, draws them back into the conversation of the recorded video. It really does. And so what I would say, Warwick, is if you have 10 tips, and I wish I took my own advice all the time, and I know how difficult it is to do this, but what would be ideal would be to have at least 2 to 3 points where you stop your monologue and you break it up with a question that is very natural at that point. So for example, if you're talking about 10 tips for dealing with difficult clients, and so tip number 3 was this, and then you want to say to people, have you ever been in a similar situation? Let me know in the comments below, right? So you want to encourage them to participate and give their opinion. Then maybe another kind of engagement question would be, hey, if you guys enjoy this, then remember to watch till the end, because I've got like a special something, a special download, freebie, whatever coming up for you, or a special bonus point. Like I would do this often with like, I'll be like, I have 5 points in this video. Midway through, I'll announce, well, hey, you know what? Stay tuned all the way till the end, because I've got like a special bonus 6th point as well on this topic. I know it's small, but it all adds up. And then maybe another kind of CTA would be, for example, talking about some kind of download, like something that's happening on the website. So for example, one of my CTAs in my last video was actually about this Friday Live. And I'm like, okay, well, I've expanded. So we do like a Tuesday video, and we're also doing a Friday Live. So be sure to check those out as well. So it's really simple. It just takes a second, 2 seconds to say, and you just want to keep that engagement going. You just want to give people things to do. Oh, go check this out. Share this out. Comment on this. What's your opinion? Download this. Watch till the end. All of those are examples of hooks you can place. And the more hooks you can place in, and you can paste them. So if you have 10 tips, 3 to 4 hooks would be like great, but at least 2. So I would say minimum 2 hooks. Okay, and that's actually how my script is structured. So if you guys have downloaded the video content plan, let me pull that up here actually. So if you've downloaded this video content plan, by the way, the link is in the description. So if you haven't, you can just go and download it right now. But this is the video content plan that I use to plan out my videos, okay? And I have some videos on that as well. So if you go here, there's a secret tab down here which says script. How many of you noticed that tab and clicked on it? So I haven't actually talked much about it. Okay, so it's kind of like a secret thing that I added in. And if you click on this, the script basically gives you this VT formula in script form. So it's like, okay, the intro, immediately let your audience know what the video is about, and bring in your personal experience with the problem, because you're a personal brand, right? Personal experience. Then your quick speaker intro, which can include your title and all of that. And then immediately you jump into a CTA. So my first CTA is to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell and all of that. And then I have a second CTA. So minimum 2 CTAs. One is for like subscribing to the YouTube channel, and the other is to build my email list, Facebook group, any other kind of place that I want to point people to. So build my brand. And then this is obviously all the meat of the content, right? Okay. I'm going to put myself back on screen when I'm drinking tea, right? Because otherwise you'll be like, what? Is the audio not working suddenly? Or what's going on? Okay. Work that's got me thinking. Great tips, especially for longer videos. I'm going to try when I film this weekend, include some additional hooks questions to break it up. Love that idea. Awesome. So I want to come back to Laura's binge dieting thing, and I just keep forgetting the questions. I want to look back here. How to break the diet binge cycle. So very easy, right? So typically, Laura, you'd start off with, okay, why people can't break the diet binge cycle, and then you'd immediately move into your, let's say, your 3 to 5 points on how to actually do that. It could be steps. So I'm a huge fan of sequential steps. So what that does is that it sort of takes people through a process. Okay, step 1, this is what you need to do. Then step 2, it seems just more doable and realistic to have like sequential steps. Or you could just have points. Okay, 5 ways to do this. So way number 1 is this, way number 2 is this, so whatever way. And then after, maybe 2 points, you want to add in your engagement question. You want to add in, have you tried this? Has this, has it worked for you or has it not worked for you? Tell me in the comments. Tell me what your experience with this has been. So maybe, I don't know, let's say, what's a diet technique? Let's say intermittent fasting. Okay, so intermittent fasting is something that maybe you're recommending to break the diet. I don't know. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's part of the content, but that's your expertise. Okay, I'm just giving some examples. Let's say it's intermittent fasting. So your call to action or your engagement question would be, have you tried intermittent fasting? What were your results? How long did you do it? What were your results with it? Comment below. Okay, so that's something. And then you move on to the other 2 tips that you have. Okay, so that's how the flow would go. And then finally at the end, so I'm just going to bring up the timeline again. Okay, so finally at the end, so you've done all your body work and everything, and then finally at the end is your main call to action. Okay, so what I like to do is to end, oh wait, I didn't share the screen, hang on. Right here, okay. So right at the end, and I mean 2 minutes may be too long, so these are just ballpark figures. You don't actually have to spend exactly this amount of time. Just like generally speaking, a couple of seconds, a minute, whatever is necessary to get the point across. Your call to action, the way that I like to do call to actions at the end of each video is that I like to marry the call to action very closely with the content of the video, because that's what leads to conversions. So if you want to build up your email list, and if you want to make sure that people are receiving the next step, right? So let me give you some examples. So call to action examples. When I'm talking about, let's say, keyword research. So my call to action is, if you write down the keywords that you have researched and it all goes into your master plan, then it is way, way easier to make those videos perform and rank better. Okay, and you can do that by downloading my video content plan. So I've tied in keyword research with something that's very integral to my video content plan, which is how to find your keyword and put it down on a spreadsheet so you have the big picture in your mind. Okay, similarly for all the other stuff inside the video content plan. So I will take each element of the download and make sure I make a video about it. Reverse engineer the thing, literally. So for Laura, for your example, it will be like let's say you have like a cheat sheet or a guide or something on um, how to stop your binge. Oh, why do I keep forgetting this? How to break the. I should just write this. How to break. Okay, how to break diet binge. Write it down next time, Salma. Just write it down next time. Okay. Where will we? So when you're thinking about your lead magnet or your download for how to break the diet binge cycle, I'm going to assume that because your channel is all about healthy eating and healthy emotional eating and all of that, so you have some kind of lead magnet freebie to offer. And so what you want to do is tell people that inside your lead magnet, you're going to find even more ideas on how to break the diet binge cycle. So then it just becomes a seamless transfer from the content to the CTA. And most people are going to love that. And then they're going to go and take action on that. And the action will be to download your freebie. The other question is promoting your main video content. Just include clips of the main video on a social media post, or should you film a specific? Wondering if I should include some extra promo stuff when I video content. So, Warwick, next Tuesday's video, and this might become a series actually because I have a lot of ideas on this topic. Next week's video on Tuesday is going to be about how to share your YouTube video on Instagram. All the ways. So posts, videos and posts, stories, IGTV, all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to start with that. And if that goes well, then I'm also going to do how do you share your YouTube videos on Facebook, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of the social networks. So to answer your question, you could film certain things. Like, for example, for Instagram stories, I would typically film like a hype video. It doesn't have to be mind reader. It doesn't have to be necessarily a part of the video. You could do a hype, like a pre-hype video that I'm going to be releasing this video tomorrow. It's on da-da-da topic. So, catch it when it goes live in 4 hours or 8 hours or whenever. Obviously, if it's tomorrow, it's like 24 hours. Okay, whatever. I did that. I mean, I think it's gone now from my IG, from my Instagram stories, but I did that for my previous video. The other thing I do is take any bits and pieces from my YouTube video that can be like standalone sections, like the outtakes and the bloopers or the intro, because the intro is so segmented. It comes like before the title and it's like very, very specific and it's like usually under a minute. You could just take the entire intro and use it as a promo. So we're gonna discuss some of these ideas inside the YouTube videos that I have coming up. But as far as filming goes, I would say do try and take a screenshot for your thumbnail. That's something you should do because it's going to be better resolution. Okay, do try and film all of your outtakes. You can use them in a variety of ways. Do try and give as many examples as possible because, again, you can take those examples and tips and place them strategically and share them on social media. And finally, I would say any kind of B-roll. And again, this ties into the video content plan. So when this comes in when you're planning and strategizing your videos and you're like, okay, what kind of footage can I put in this video that is not me talking? And some ideas can go in there and this can go into your video content plan. So you can plan it all out in advance. So you could be like, okay, I need to screenshot this, or I need to film an outdoor scene for this, or wouldn't it be cool if I filmed myself doing this, or maybe something in my office environment with my other colleagues, something fun. So you can start to brainstorm ideas of how to illustrate concepts. And then when you actually are filming, you can set aside time to just film B-roll. Could be a separate day just to film B-roll, or it could be part of the video because it will depend on what the B-roll actually is. I remember in one of my videos, the B-roll was how to choose outfits from my closet. So I actually filmed that after the video that we made. So I made the video and then we filmed all the B-roll. And then in my green screen videos, it's always filmed afterwards. So I know what I've said, and then I go and like pretend that I'm saying it again, and then just film B-roll on that. And then you can speed it up, slow it down, and make it fit into the stuff that you said. So that's something. Okay, I also want to take Kashif's point and his topic. So Kashif, are you still here? Let's do your point. How to start your own dropshipping business. Give me a comment. Let me know you're here. Okay. Oh, the tea bag broke. There you go, like a lot of tea flakes in my mouth. Okay. All right, Kasha's here. All right, how to start? Was it how to start? How to start? How to start? How to start your own? Like, see, now I'm gonna write this down. How to. Where'd it go? Just a second, guys. Kind of lost all the comments for a second. There we go. Okay. How to start your own drop shipping business. Okay. So the clear, okay, so remember the VT. So the first thing is the intro, which is going to be the promise. Okay, the promise of your title. Let's say your title is how to start your own drop shipping business. One way you could start is, have you yourself started a drop shipping business? Are you talking from experience? Massive value to an audience if it's somebody who's talking from experience rather than just research. Okay, cannot overemphasize the value. So if you have started a dropshipping business, then start with that. Say, I started a dropshipping business 5 years ago, and these are the lessons I learned, and this is how you should start. Okay, if you haven't, then start with the pain point. Pain point, the biggest challenge that your audience will have in starting. So you can say, okay, do you think it's very complicated to start a dropshipping business? Well, I'm here to simplify it for you. Okay, so if your audience thinks that it's complicated, if they think it's a lot of moving parts, okay, so you're saying that you have experience. Great. I would go with that. I think it's very, very powerful as a personal brand to talk from experience. I think it's super powerful. So I would start with that. And then you'd have your title. Okay, and then very quickly you'd move into your sequential steps. So let's say you have 7 steps on how to start a dropshipping business. Write them all down. What should you do first, next, and so on. Okay, make them SEO friendly, every single title. So maybe the first thing could be choose what you're going to be selling. Okay, so a more SEO friendly way of saying that, what products can you start a drop shipping business around, or maybe cheaply, maybe like what are some of the cheapest drop shipping businesses to start, so whatever you want to start with, so whatever your first step is, try and include some keywords in there. In every single step, make sure that you include some SEO keywords that people are searching for. Okay, the next thing that I would absolutely do is give tons of examples. Okay, so let's say your step 1 was how to choose a product to sell. Then your next step was how to choose a platform to sell it on. And then you could be like, okay, Shopify versus whatever. And then your next is how to, I don't know, how to get inventory. And then your next is how to structure your online store. And then the next could be how to negotiate drop shipping agreements with vendors in, I don't know, China or wherever. And then, so all that stuff. So all of those would be like specific steps, and then give tons of examples in each of them. Like, as give like great examples, okay, in each of them on how people can do that, because examples bring your story to life, bring your experience to life, and they help people relate to that better. Okay. All right. Now, while you're doing your sequential steps, place some hooks in the middle. Get people involved, okay? You want to start a conversation around what people's challenges are, things that are stopping them. So I'm assuming that if you're talking to people who are just starting a dropshipping business, that means they don't have one yet. They just want to start. So what are the challenges of people who want to start? Maybe they're thinking, how much money does it take to start one? Maybe they're thinking, do they need to find an investor? Maybe they're thinking, okay, what's the best platform? To how do you vet vendors, right? So all of these things are questions and inside your prospects' heads. What you want to do is after each point, ask them, what do you think about this? Like if you say, okay, go to Alibaba and find like a drop shipping a vendor. Would you choose a vendor with higher ratings or lower prices? What's your opinion? Like ask them stuff like that. Get them thinking, get them involved. And then finally, for your CTA, you should absolutely have a lead magnet, and it could be relevant to e-commerce in general if that's your niche. It could be how to start an e-commerce business. 7 essential steps you need to know. It could be like a cheat sheet. Don't make these drop shipping or don't make these e-commerce store mistakes that may cost you thousands of dollars, or whatever your currency might be. So does that answer your question? That's how I would structure a YouTube video, and I would definitely keep it under 10 minutes. Also look at what the competition is doing. So if you were to type this exact phrase into YouTube, how to start your own dropshipping business, let's go ahead and do that. I'm saying like, let's do examples. Let's do examples. So first I'm going to do Google, how to start your own dropshipping business, and let's see what comes up. How to start a dropshipping business in 2018. Okay. How to start a dropshipping business in 5 easy steps. All right. 6 steps to building a successful online dropshipping business. How to start a dropshipping business. So obviously, you can have like really tough competition here because these are all big brands: Overloo, Shopify, Salehu, Medium, Entrepreneur. How to start a dropshipping business. Okay, cool. The good thing is that YouTube has put up these videos, which are all YouTube videos, on its first page. That means that it is ranking videos on this topic. Okay, that's what this means. That means there's an opportunity to rank your video on Google if you can get your SEO right. I did not need to click on that. Sorry. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this whole thing into YouTube. Wait, I just want to see some other related keywords. Dropshipping buyers, how to start dropshipping on eBay. Dropshipping for dummies. Okay. Now, what you want to do is go to YouTube and you want to type in the exact same phrase in here as well. How to start your own dropshipping business. And you basically want to see all of these videos on the first page, first 10 videos. You want to see what advice they're giving. And also what I'm looking for is how long are they? Like this one is 35 seconds. It seems like an ad. 6 minutes, 12 minutes, 16 minutes, 21 minutes, 11 minutes, 9, 7. So this is like a topic that people are covering in detail. That's what this is telling me. So I'm seeing that people are making on average about like a 10-minute video on this topic, right? So what that's telling me is I need to watch exactly what is covered inside and how does my content stand out, what is going to be different. So maybe you could take a specific angle, like how to start a dropshipping business from the country that you're in. So if it's Pakistan, you could say how to start a dropshipping business from Pakistan. Or you could say how to start a dropshipping business in 2018. So find an angle, find a perspective, make sure that you start off with a hook. You structure your content and you tell them exactly what your hook is going to be, like your intro, your promise, all that, and then go into sequential steps. Write down all of these steps, make them all SEO friendly, and then make sure that you end with a call to action. It could be, if you don't have a lead magnet, it could be watch my other videos on e-commerce, or it could be subscribe to the channel for more, or actually you could even do a poll. What more do you want to learn about dropshipping? What is your biggest challenge about dropshipping? You could use YouTube's cards for that. I have a tutorial on that, how to use YouTube's info cards on conducting a poll. It gets a ton of engagement. Great way to find out what people want you to make a video about next, okay? So definitely you can do that, and you can absolutely ask people to leave a comment also. And so these are all like ideas of CTAs, right? Okay, I want to just quickly get to Zan's question. How to target a YouTube channel for a specific country like USA? Okay, this is interesting. I would say the easiest ways to target channels by country. Well, there isn't like a specific way that YouTube provides for you. So like for other countries, you can target by language. So for example, if I were to make videos like in Spanish, then I would mostly get people who speak Spanish or from Spanish speaking countries to watch those videos. Or if it was Hindi or Urdu, then I could target people that way. But for English, so for people living in the US, you just got to see what other creators who are targeting people living in the US are creating. What kind of topics are they using? What kind of ideas, what kind of like structures do they have? So I would say study your competition. That is probably the biggest thing. And look at my channel. I have a lot of people from, I have my number one audience is from the US. And the reason for that is that my channel is structured very similarly to some of the biggest YouTube creator channels. So people who teach YouTube marketing. Nick Nimmin, Sunny Lenarduzzi, Amy Landino, who else? Brian G. Johnson. And these are all friends of mine, right? These are all people I know. And so really you have to see how they have structured their channels, because they are reaching that audience that you want to reach. So you want to make sure you have like similar kind of content or similar titles or similar structures or similar language, or there has to be consistency, and you can gauge a lot from your competition. That's all I got. Okay, so I would love to know what you guys would want to talk about next week, because I'm gonna do one more YouTube live before I start my travel schedule. Again, what date is it today? It's 10th. So technically, I think the 17th I can definitely do. The 24th, which is the next Friday, I'm not 100% sure about, because I am traveling the last week of August and the first week of September. If you guys don't know already, I'm speaking at Video Marketing World in Dallas, Texas. If you are nearby in the area, absolutely let me know. I have some free tickets to give away. Yes. So let me know. I'm speaking there. And if you just want to meet up, if you're in the area, I have a few people coming in from Houston who are going to be meeting up at the conference with me. And I will be in the Dallas area for a few days. I will be in Seattle and San Francisco as well. So if any of you are from there, definitely let me know, because I would love to share a cup of coffee with you and just talk and get to know you better. So that's coming up. I am going to try, this is an experiment that I've been wanting to do for a long time. is to do a solo travel vlog, not for this channel, but maybe for another YouTube channel. So I'm going to try and film some footage and sort of experiment and see what I can do with that. So yeah, let me know what you think of that idea. I'm kind of excited about it, but I don't know. I might be just too stressed out to do it properly, but I just want to give it a shot. I'll be using my GoPro. This little baby, I'm going to be using this to film a lot of the footage. Yeah, dust it off. You're going to be in use soon. So yeah, it's such a practical camera for like travel, right? You can like just hide it in anywhere. So that's coming up soon, and kind of really excited about all of that. You know, I put up all the updates inside my Facebook group, so make sure that you are joined in there. If you guys have any more questions, you can always type them in the comments of the YouTube channel, or come over to Facebook and ask me, and let me know if you enjoyed today's show, because I'm having a lot of fun talking about all of this and bringing you the show. So that's it from me, and until next Friday, take care, build your brand, be the media. Bye.